Welcome to Hunting Party, a collection of friends playing Monster Hunter, both experienced and new. Together, we overcome any obstacle, whether it's a monster, internet connection issues, miscommunication, or just real bad RNG. So stick around and watch us learn how to be a real hunting party.
Not my first, but my first was World, and I only partially played it. I got through like the main story and didn't do very much in-game stuff, so I've never really gotten into one, and ideally it will be my first that I get into, but I have a little bit of experience with it so far. I played through the beta story and then a little bit of exploration afterwards. I wanted to play more, but I was a little bit busy, so not a huge amount, but at the very minimum through the, story, the first quest. My biggest impression, compared to what I've seen from previous Monster Hunters, they've definitely had a lot of stuff that makes it a lot more noob-friendly, which, I mean, it was kind of nice. It's not necessarily something that would, help me, I think, a ton, but, certain things, Sacred. But, a lot of stuff with those, just, making things faster and helping you with the auto-walk and kind of showing you where you need to go and being able to have multiple weapons, obviously. Just, a lot of things that will help out newer players a lot. As far as not getting too overwhelmed or feeling like they don't get enough experience with certain weapons or whatever. But I mean, overall, I had a great time. I thought it felt really good. I was very lucky. It ran quite well on my PC. I don't know why that's the case, but I'll take it. And yeah, it certainly sold me on the game. Well, the only full hunts that I did were, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget the names. There's terrible names for everything, but I did the quest one, and then I did the Oshikun. And that one was certainly interesting. I think it's a cool one that they put out for kind of the first quest one, because there are a lot of different directions it can go. You can run into the electric monster that's on the map, which again, I don't know why, I just can't remember names at all. But yeah, you can run into that. There's a lot of different positions that it runs to kind of show you environmental stuff. You run below a lot of vine traps, and also of course it's shoot dung at it to make them spread out so you don't have to fight three at once. It's just it's neat. It was a good, I think, a well-designed first kind of quest hunt, and obviously I didn't do that many, so that would certainly be the one. Lack of a feature is hard. I'm not sure what I would say for that, but the features that stood out to me were everything with the secrets, for sure. They seem like they had a lot of QOL stuff. They got to be able to be shown off with the with that fight as well, that hunt, just how well you can traverse, and then kind of the dismounting attacks. I accidentally mounted the monster. I was like, oh my goodness, you can do the full flip off, and just everything about that is pretty interesting. I know that they had the wolves in Rise, but I didn't get a chance to play Rise very much. I'm not sure how similar they were, but that certainly is the biggest thing for me. And then dual weapons, because I'm somebody who's super indecisive, and I always feel I'm not sure that I'm playing the right class in a game or the right whatever character in a game. So I always like having multiple options, and I think that was quite cool. And being able to switch specifically on your sacred is pretty tight. I tried all of them, at least a little bit. I mean, obviously that is a big part of the game, but there were certainly some parts of the weapons that I didn't fully grasp the mechanic. But I used longsword, I used some hammer, I used, what else did I use? some charge blade, and a little bit of the daggers. I used a little bit of the bow gun, heavy bow gun. So I kind of tried a lot. So yeah, decent amount, but I like them all a lot. I really liked I mean, I don't know, I'm a little bit of like a nerd for like some samurai stuff, like especially like blade drawing. I don't know why, I just think it's really cool in video games. So I really did like how that felt in this. Using it to dodge as well was pretty cool. Yeah, I think everything felt pretty good. I can't think of anything that I thought was really like, just like ugh. That definitely goes back to a little bit to my last answer, now that I think about it. For a lot of the weapons, there's a lot of the movesets that you get the context menu basically of like, well, okay, you use one attack and then now it's like, okay, press this button plus this button, press this button plus this button for this attack, and the windows go by relatively quickly. So to get the idea of like the flow of some of the weapons, it was maybe a little bit confusing. Like even the long sword, it didn't really like explain how the gauge worked exactly, or same thing with like the daggers and like the demon mode or whatever it's called. So I think maybe like a little bit more of like a guide of like, the goal is to build up this gauge. Once you hit this gauge, these are some of your moves and this is how you use them. And then you kind of figure out how to apply it all yourself, because I feel like some people would get confused. You know, I'm a bit of a nerd, so I kind of figured it out, but that's the only thing that felt like it was kind of like as hard to jump into as older Monster Hunters. What felt like top tier polish? Honestly, quite a bit of it felt good. It's a little bit harder with only getting that first area to kind of figure it out, but again, like the integration of the secrets felt really good to me. I don't know if there's any, I mean, especially with just the fact that like it's like a navigation tool and there's so much varied terrain. Like I didn't run into any problems. That could just be a me thing, but I didn't run into any like things where like it wouldn't jump when I kind of wanted it to jump up to something, or where it would like catch on a terrain, and that's something that I feel like could be pretty common. So maybe I just got lucky with it, but that seemed really good to me, and I know I keep talking about it, but it was a very positive part of my beta experience. Yes, definitely. I worked the Capcom booth, obviously, TwitchCon, and I got to see people play it a lot, and I really didn't get to play it very much myself, but I just saw how excited everybody was, so I was like super pumped to try it for the beta, and I was like, well, you know, let's see if it kind of like lives up to the hype of like how everybody was responding to it, and yeah, it like definitely did. It felt super clean. It felt very like quick start, and it felt clean. It felt streamlined. There we go. That was a good way to put it. Streamlined. And it's just like, it's a series that I've always thought I would like, but it can be a little tough, especially like not knowing too many people who play. So I feel like this is going to be a really good first entry for a lot of people, and kind of my first hardcore entry into the series.